Thank you for the Dean of the Faculty of Social and Politics, University of Bengkulu, Professor Haji Sugeng Soeharto, and the Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sri Putri Permata, the head of Laboratory of Library Information Science, as well as the committee chair, Ms. Laylatul Shadia, and the lecturer of the Department Library Information Science and the head of Department Library and Information Science UIN Curup as a co-host today, and all the participants today international webinar. And I want to say to welcome Professor Jaroslav Susol from Comenius University, Bratislava. I would like to say appreciation to the Prof. Yaro because this time he want to share his knowledge and expertise and insight with us today about how AI in librarian to the future librarian. So the webinar today is very important because it is the ongoing collaboration between University Bratislava and University Bengkulu. Maybe some students have meet with Prof. Jaro 2 years ago. I think some students have met before in 2024 at GLT. Yeah, some. Can your hands if you? Yes, of course. Yeah. Prof. Yaro visit Bengkulu 2 years ago with his colleague, Dr. Milan. But Dr. Milan can join with us today because he have some activity, so he doesn't join with us. Maybe in the next time he can join with us in a many activity or the other activity. We are particularly honored to welcome Prof. Jaro once again to Bengkulu. Although in the virtual meeting, I hope it is how to say it is the best meeting. But maybe in the next time you can come to Bengkulu again to meet our student and our colleague in University of Bengkulu. And I hope this collaboration can continue in the next time. Maybe we can collaborate about research or another activity in the next time. So thank you dan terima kasih juga kepada rekan-rekan mahasiswa. Maybe I use Indonesia. Terima kasih kepada mahasiswa, kepada panitia yang sudah mengorganisir kegiatan hari ini. Mungkin nanti teman-teman gunakan kesempatan ini sebanyak-banyaknya. Mungkin kalau nanti teman-teman Bu nggak ngerti bahasa Inggris, tapi di sini adalah teman-teman bisa mulai belajar bagaimana kita can speak English. Semua dari proses belajar. Sekarang ada fasilitas Google Cam, kita bisa foto slide-nya dan akan muncul bahasa Indonesianya. Jadi nanti gunakan perangkatnya sebaik mungkin. Dan saya juga berterima kasih mungkin yang ada di Zoom dari Ikatan Pustakawan Indonesia dan FFTI yang sudah bergabung pada siang hari ini. Harapannya kegiatan ini memberikan banyak manfaat kepada kita semua. And finally, thank you for all participants today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your insightful remarks, Mrs. Francisca Timoria Samosir. And now we have arrived at a very special part of our agenda. We would like to invite the Dean of FISIP, Professor Dr. Andes Haji Sugeng Soeharto MMMSI, to deliver a few remarks. And at the same time, we humbly request that he officially open this international webinar. Professor Dr. Andes Sugeng Soeharto, the floor is yours.
the Honorable Professor Jaroslav Susol, Ph.D., dear all participants, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Usually in Indonesia, before said by pantun. Now in international, without pantun. First of all, I'd like to say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, good morning. No, good morning in Slovakia. And good afternoon for you in Indonesia. As the Dean at Social Political Science of Comenius University, I am very happy. I'm very pleased to meet with the speaker from Slovakia this morning. Hello, Professor Jaroslav.
Hello, hello. Hi.
I'm very sorry I can't speak English well. Just only said with you, good morning. I'm very pleased to meet you with a speaker from Slovakia this afternoon. Thanks for Lailatul Saadah, the head of Librarians Study Program Laboratory. Mrs. Francisca Timonia Samoser.
Timorio.
I beg your pardon. And then the Vice Dean, Dr. Sri Putri Permata. The head of the study in this case talking about this IA for librarian. So no many kind for this year, only I hope the material, the session from Professor Jaroslav Susol, Ph.D., make me the good panoramas. We can know about what is artificial intelligence. So, as the Dean, I hope all of yours sign about it you give me. I can receive it. Ladies and gentlemen, in this case, about the type of the AA for Librarian. By offering prayers to God, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, the international lecture was officially opened. The last little pantun, Professor Jaroslav. Kesepian tanpa kekasih. Sekian, terima kasih. I'm sure Professor Jaroslav knows what I mean. I think it's enough, ladies and gentlemen, especially the manager in librarian and information system. Thanks for all, and the last is Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for your inspiring remarks. With that, this international webinar, AI for Librarian, is now officially open. Let's give a round of applause for our Dean of Visi, Profesor Dr. Andes Haji Sugeng Soeharto, MM, MSI. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the core session of our event, the webinar session. Before we move to the next session agenda, let's take a moment to capture this special moment together. We invite all of honorable guests in this location to please come forward And for those attending online, turn on your camera so we can take this documentation photo together.
Nah, unsur nggak sih?
Ya, Prof. Ya, rosnya bisa di lebih besarkan, Mas? Mas moderator. Ya. Semuanya forward. Maju. Ya, foto.
Silakan jangan lambat-lambat.
Saya di sini angle-nya.
Siap banget ya.
Ya.
Ya silakan ambilkan diri di belakang mikrofon. Silakan.
For those attending online, kindly turn on your camera so we can take this documentation photo together.
Rusak.
Coba. Nah, ini nah, please I'm ready Oktara Jaya gitu ya.
Oke. Nah, silakan cepat kembali ke kursi masing-masing. Oh, jatuh ya.
Jadi mendampingi ya. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the core session of our event, the webinar session. For this session, I will hand things over to our moderator who will guide our discussion and introduce our speaker. Bapak Araf Ali Wijaya, the floor is now yours. Thank you.
Cek. Okay, Bapak Ibu, I will explain and guide this event with bilingual language ya. Boleh bahasa Indonesia, bahasa Inggris, campur aja ya. Oke, baik. Good afternoon everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, first of all, I would like to say thank you untuk Ibu Sri Putri Permata. Yeah, thank you so much for our Dean of Faculty, Vice Dean of Faculty, welcome. And then I would like to say thank you untuk Ibu Siska. Yeah, thank you so much. This is Ibu Siska here with us, Prof. Susol. And Ibu Siska manage well our agenda today. Okay, so thank you so much, Ibu Siska. And then I would like to welcome our speakers today, Prof. Jaroslav Susol, Ph.D. from the Comenius University, Bratislava. Good afternoon, Prof. And also good morning from Slovakia. Yeah, good afternoon, Prof.
Hello, nice to see everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. From here, you look very handsome, right? Yeah, thank you, Prof. Yeah. Okay, Prof, I would like to say we invite all the guests today from a lot of public libraries, school libraries, and university libraries. And also we invite our collaborate from Islamic Library and Information Science, Yayan Curuf. Mudah-mudahan ibunya ada di dalam ruang hari ini. Oke, Bapak Ibu, this seminar, please share my screen. Ya.
Ya, terima kasih, Mas.
Sama-sama. Ya. Oke, Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, kami ingin menyampaikan bahwa hari ini merupakan sebuah part of the collaboration between Universitas Bengkulu and Slovakia, Comenius University, Bratislava with Prof. Jaro, and 2024. Please share my slide. Alfat? Share my slide, please. Yeah. Okay, I would say the previously Miss Siska visited Comenius University in Slovakia. Sorry. Okay, next. No, my slide. Next. Ya. Okay, 2024 Bapak Ibu, Ibu Siska, sorry, Prof. Jaro dan tim mendatangi Universitas Bengkulu, tepatnya di FISIP, untuk initiate our collaborations. Prof. Jaro bring Milan, yeah, Dr. Rejek Milan, right? Yeah, with us, and we make a seminar, an international seminar too, in this faculty. Okay, and then next, in 2026, Ibu Siska invited to Comenius University Bratislava. This is the documentations, lecturer exchange program from Erasmus. Jadi Bapak Ibu, 2026 Bu Siska baru pulang dari Slovakia, sangat luar biasa. Prof. Jaro, please. Ibu Siska bring a lot of sweet memories. He talk about Slovakia much and bring us some gift. I use it in my bag now. Yeah, I use it the gift in my bag. Okay. Oke, Bapak Ibu, and we continue our collaboration. Jadi saat ini kami mengundang Prof. Jaro untuk mengisi seminar kita pada hari ini, dan seminarnya bicara terkait dengan AI for Librarian. Why AI for Librarian? This is the problem of AI for Librarian. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the AI challenge in library. Percaya nggak kalau saya tadi malam mengcoding dan mengkatalog 1000 buku hanya dalam 5 menit. With the AI agent, I cataloging the book 1000 book in only 5 minutes. Now I order AI agent for do my job, do my test, do everything my job. So Bapak Ibu dan mahasiswa di sini, AI sekarang itu mengerjakan semuanya dengan sangat cepat, very quick, very cheap, dan very fast. Jadi Bapak Ibu, kalau misalnya kita tidak belajar dengan AI, kita tidak adaptif dengan AI, maka kita bisa ketinggalan. Pertanyaannya, apakah librarians, archivists, information specialists will be changed by AI, atau hari ini kita akan tertinggal oleh AI? Begitu Bapak Ibu. Oleh karena itu, this is the challenges of our work. This is the challenges, ini adalah tantangan dari librarian ke depan terkait dengan AI. The first, rapid change in user information needs. Jadi Bapak Ibu, hari ini pustakawan, pemustaka yang ada di perpustakaan kita semuanya berubah. Student behavior change. Student how they finish their homework change. Student change how they search the information. Semuanya berubah. Jadi ketika semua itu berubah, maka kalau librarian, if the librarian doesn't update the technology, kita akan kalah, will be lost. will be lose and lose from this technology. And then the reason why we need to update, because we have a limited AI competencies in the librarians. Jadi kompetensi-kompetensi kita di perpustakaan untuk pustakaan itu masih sangat terbatas. Kenapa terbatas? Saya sudah mensurvei lebih dari 200 pustakawan di Indonesia dan kita tahapnya masih ada di menengah ke bawah. AI literacy of the librarian is a middle and low level when we survey last year. Okay, because of that, we invite, next slide. Because of that, we invite Prof. Yaro, Prof. Yaro to this seminar. This is the background of Prof. Yaro. I would like to brief introduce our speaker. The name is Prof. Jaroslav Susol, Ph.D. from the University of Bratislava, Slovakia. Prof. Susol is the lecturer in Department of Library and Information Science, Comenius University, Bratislava. Jadi Prof. Susol ini dosen di sana ya, dosen dan seorang profesor. Dan apa yang menjadi ekspertisnya Prof. Yaro? Prof. Yaro ini ekspertisnya Information Technology, Digital Library, Information Behavior, and Digital Communication. You can find a profile of Prof. Yaro in the research gates or something to understand. And you can collaborate with Prof. Yaro because she interests now in informations and publications behavior, bibliometric, privacy in digital communication. And we are very happy to have you with us today, Prof. Yaro. Oke, Bapak Ibu, saya akan melanjutkan lagi. Untuk semua partisipan, nanti di akhir akan ada sesi tanya jawab. Boleh tanya jawab with bahasa or with English ya. We will happy to have you dan kami akan nanti menjelaskan ke Prof. Yaro. And Bapak Ibu yang ada di Zoom, you can activate the transcriptions in your Zoom. If you would like to make better our languages, please activate your transcript. Di sebelah kanan bawah nanti ada show captions. Oke, and then nanti di akhir Bapak Ibu yang ada di Zoom silahkan bertanya di room chat, write down on the chat, atau bertanya langsung direct question with us, with bahasa or English, no problem, we can help you very well. Oke, Bapak Ibu, Prof. Yaro, the first begin of the slide, nanti di awal-awal Prof. Yaro akan ada formulir. Jadi semua yang ada di ruangan ini silakan siapkan handphone masing-masing ya. Oke, you can prepare. I would like to inform you all participants that there will be short form to complete during the sessions. Prof. Yaro maybe have 10 until 12 or 20 formulir and we can submit it. So please prepare your mobile phone and keep ready. We'll share the form link with the times comes ya. Oke. Oke, Bapak Ibu, saya pikir kita bisa mulai hari ini. Oke, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, first of all, thank you so much. And we can continue our seminars today. And Prof. Yaro, thank you so much for your coming and time is yours. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, if I understood correctly, I can start talking. Good morning from Slovakia. Good afternoon to Bengkulu. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see me in my wonderful Indonesian shirt, right? And I also hope the connection will be good. Did you have a good lunch? Hope so. Yeah, okay, great. Now I will start sharing my presentation. It should be this one. Yeah, can you see it, please? You see the presentation, okay? I don't need this. I don't need this. Takes too much space on my screen. Okay. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. It is a pleasure to be with you in Bengkulu again, even if this time it is only online. As Francisca mentioned, I was in Bengkulu almost 2 years ago, together with my colleague Milan. And I'm not sure, well, now I know, as Francisca already did some kind of small survey, that there are actually some young people in the audience who took part in our presentations 2 years ago. I just have beautiful memories of your country, and I would like to thank all the wonderful, friendly, and helpful people that I met at your university. Ade, Francisca, Andina, Richard, and many, many more. But okay, enough of emotions, let's get to work. Today, I would like to talk about artificial intelligence, but perhaps not in a way you would expect. I will not focus mainly on how AI works or how to write better prompts. Instead, I would like to ask a different question. What does artificial intelligence mean for people whose profession is information? 20 years ago, one of our main problems was how to find the information. Today, we can ask an AI system a question and receive an answer in 5 seconds. But this creates a new problem. Finding an answer may be easy. Deciding whether we should trust that answer can be much more difficult. And I think this is where librarians and information professionals become especially important. If I may just check, can you still hear me and the connection is okay?
Connection is okay, Prof, and still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So today I would like to concentrate on these 4 principal topics, as you can see on your screens. I would like to talk about information literacy and its connection to AI literacy. I would like to touch briefly on 4 ethical questions connected with AI using. Then a little bit of an Indonesian or Bengkulu context. And I would like to finish with concentrating on a professional role of a librarian in this domain. Before I say anything more about AI, I would like to know something more about you. Please think about how you would answer these 2 questions.
Okay,
Silakan. Have you used generative AI during the last 7 days? There will be some options available. And the second question is, which AI tools you use regularly? Just please think about these questions and the answers. And now you can see the QR code. Can you?
Silakan Bapak Ibu dibuka handphonenya.
So please, if you can, and if you have your phones on you, take your phone and scan the QR code to get into Microsoft Forms. You do not need to register and your answers are anonymous. I can assure you about that. Please take your time, think about it, but most importantly, scan the code. You will see the questions in the system as well.
Bisa di-scan?
Does it work?
Yeah, is it work, Prof?
Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can already see 30 answers. I will share this with you as well. I just have to arrange the things on my screen. Just a second. Come on. Okay. I will stop sharing my presentation and I will share my screen with your answers. Hopefully it will work. Okay, can you see it now? The numbers?
Yes, Prof, we can see very clearly.
Yeah, great. We'll wait just a few seconds more to get more answers. Wonderful. Well, from what I see, ChatGPT is definitely the most frequently used tool at your university among your students, followed very closely by Google Gemini and some other tools. As for the results of the first question, if the students use it at all or they use it more or less frequently, you can see that most of the students use this tool or these tools for studying. There are some who do not use it for studying, probably for their private things. And only 2 people say that they are not using the system at all. I would be interested in why, but definitely we can talk about it later. So, yeah. Now we have more or less, more than 100 answers. You can still continue polling. We can come back to the results later and show us the definitive answers and definitive picture of usage of artificial intelligence at the university in Bengkulu, among the students, of course, that are present at the lecture now. So I can stop sharing this screen at this moment and come back to my presentation. Okay. So from what you saw on the screen that I showed you some seconds ago, we can already see that AI is not some future technology, of course, that we are discussing really practically. For many of us, it is already part of everyday information behavior. And this is important because today I'm not really speaking about some distant technological future. I'm speaking about something most of you already use. Yeah. No. Yes. For a long time, information literacy focused strongly on questions like, where can I find the information? Which database should I use? What search terms should I enter? when I want to do my research? How can I identify a good source? These questions, I would say, are still important. But as I mentioned before, generative AI changes the situation. When I use Google or a library database, I normally receive sources. I still have to select them and to read them. When I ask an AI assistant, I often receive something very different, an answer. The system has already selected, combined, and reformulated information for me. So our primary question changes from how can I find information to questions such as, can I trust this answer? Where did it come from? What might be missing in that information that I receive? And who is responsible if it is wrong? This is a very significant change in our information environment. Sometimes people speak about AI literacy as if it were a completely new competence. I do not think that is the best way to understand it. Many things that we need for responsible AI use are already familiar from information literacy. We need to evaluate information. We need to think about authority or authoritativeness of this information. We need to compare sources. We need to understand context. And we need to use information ethically. So AI literacy basically adds new questions. We need some understanding of how AI systems works, why their outputs are uncertain, how the data influence them, and what new ethical problems they create. But the connection between the two, between information literacy and AI literacy, is, according to my opinion, very strong. For librarians, of course, it is good news. We do not have to abandon information literacy and invent everything again from the scratch. Instead, we need to extend information literacy for a new information environment. This, of course, leads to an important misunderstanding about AI literacy. As I mentioned in the introduction to my presentation today, AI literacy is sometimes reduced to one practical skill, prompting. How do I ask ChatGPT the right question? How do I make the answer longer if I need a longer answer? How do I get a better summary? Of course, these are useful skills, but imagine a student who can write an excellent prompt and receive an excellent looking answer, but is simply unable to recognize that the answer contains false information. Is that student AI literate? That's the principal question. Or imagine somebody who can use an AI tool very efficiently, but uploads a private information into it without understanding what may happen to those data. Again, I would say that this is not enough. So AI literacy has at least 4 dimensions. Use it, understand it, question it, and use it responsibly. Technical skill is only one part of all this complex problems and things to take into account when working with AI. For the rest of my presentation, I want to simplify the ethical discussion. AI ethics can become very complicated very quickly. We could talk about dozens of principles, regulations, even philosophical theories. Instead, I would like us to remember just 4 questions. Whenever you encounter an AI system in a library, at the university, or in everyday life, try asking, can we trust it? What does it know about us? Is it fair? And finally, 4th question, who is responsible? These 4 questions will guide us through the next part of the presentation. And you will notice that none of them is purely technical. They are questions about information, values, people, and responsibility. So maybe we can start with devoting our time to the first question. Imagine a very ordinary situation. A student has an assignment and asks an AI chatbot, please recommend 5 academic articles about my topic. The AI produces 5 beautiful references. They have authors, titles, journal names, years, volume numbers. So everything about the information source looks professional. But when the student goes to the library database, 2 of these articles do not exist. Perhaps some of you have already experienced something similar. We often call this phenomenon AI hallucination, but I want to go one step further. The ethical and information problem is not only that the machine made a mistake. The problem is that it made a mistake very convincingly. Language models can produce fluent language without providing any guarantee that the information contained in that data that we receive is true. So we should remember, fluency is not evidence. Confidence is not accuracy. And an AI answer is not automatically a source that I can use in my academic scientific work. So far, so good. Are you still with me? Hello, hi.
Yes, Prof. Everything is good.
Yeah, okay, okay, great. Yeah, we can go on. Research shows that these questions are already relevant to university students. And I'm quite sure most of you have already come across with this problem. Recent studies of undergraduate students show extensive use of generative AI for activities such as searching for information, summarizing texts, generating ideas, and supporting academic writing. Research with library and information science students in South Asia in general shows a similar picture. Students recognize many benefits. AI is fast. It can help them understand difficult material. It can support writing and searching. But students also report concerns about reliability, plagiarism, academic integrity, and ethical use of AI systems. So there we can see an interesting gap. People can become very active AI users before they become critical AI users. And I think this difference is extremely important. The fact that someone uses AI every day tells us almost nothing about whether they understand its limitations. So using AI is not the same as understanding AI. Okay, now let us move to our second question, where you will again need to use your phones. I will show you the QR code a little bit later. AI can become much more useful when it knows more about us. Imagine a library system that knows which books you borrowed, which databases you searched, which topics you study, which courses you attend, which sources you normally prefer when doing your studies, preparing your homeworks, your paperwork, etc. It can provide excellent recommendations, but there is an obvious trade-off. The more the system knows about me, the more personalized it can become. At the same time, the more the system knows about me, the greater the potential impact on my privacy. So the question is not simply, can these data improve the service? We also, at the same time, need to ask, should these data be collected? For what purpose? Who can access them? How long should they be kept in the system? And can users say no to the system asking them for permission to save their data? Basically, personalization always has an information cost to it. Imagine another scenario. Let us make this idea more concrete. For example, your university library introduces an AI assistant. It works 24 hours a day. It can answer questions, recommend books and articles. It helps students navigate library services and perhaps even suggest materials for particular assignments. That sounds useful, right? But there is one additional feature. To give you better recommendations, the system can analyze your previous searches, your borrowing history, and information from your student profile. Now, I would like you to decide. Would you use this system? You have 5 possible answers, and you can see them at the bottom of this slide. So please think about it a little bit. And now, again, you can see the QR code. By scanning the QR code on your phones, you can get again to another poll, which this time has only one question, providing you with these possible answers. Definitely yes, probably no, definitely no, and it depends. Please get connected to the survey and vote. We will wait for a few seconds and hope the results will travel quick around the globe. Yeah, so please get to the poll.
Baik, Bapak Ibu, silakan mengisi formnya. Apakah Bapak Ibu akan menggunakan aplikasi library kita? Definitely yes, ya pastinya ya. Mungkin iya, mungkin tidak, pastinya tidak, dan tergantung. Silakan Bapak Ibu dijawab. Silakan QR code-nya ada di dalam Zoom kita hari ini. Silakan.
Okay, I suppose that all of those who were willing to take part in this poll already scanned the QR code. So for now, I will again stop sharing the presentation for a few seconds and go to my other screen to show you the results. Come on, not here. Okay, not here. Just a second, this is the previous question. Okay. So far, we have 76 answers to this question. And as you can see, most of the people who were willing to answer my question are more or less positive in this respect. They basically say that they would take part in this type of a system. Although, what I would stress is that there are some people that say definitely no, and there are also some that say it depends, like 11% of the participants in the poll. Okay. We can go back to my presentation. Good. So as you can see, Actually, most of the people are quite fond of using the chatbot in this context. Probably you are not that keen of having a real human contact, and you can still communicate with the code machine, which is no problem, of course. For me personally, what is much more interesting is those people who answered the question with the answer, it depends. I think that that may actually be the most important ethical answer in this question. Because ethics often begins with the question, it depends. It depends on what? Which data will be collected and stored? Who controls them? Is participation voluntary or no? Can I delete my history if I want to use the system? Can somebody else see the data that is stored in the system? Those details completely... there's a kind of, okay. Those details completely change our judgment. Now we have come to our third question. It is about fairness. Imagine that an AI system recommends 10 books to a student. Perhaps all 10 books are excellent, but we should still ask, why exactly these 10 books? Which books were not recommended? Which languages are those books that were selected written in? Which countries they were published in, or which culture they represent? What are the authors that wrote the books? Which perspectives, philosophical, scientific perspectives, are covered in those particular books that the system selected for us? This is actually not a completely new question for librarianship as such. Libraries have always organized knowledge in one way or the other. We created and still create classifications. We assign subject headings. We decide where something belongs, to which category, to which shelf in the library. Search systems just rank results. Every system of organizing information makes some things easier to find and other things more difficult to find. AI recommendation systems continue this process, but often in a much less visible way. So when we evaluate an AI system, we should not only ask whether its recommendations are good, we also should ask what becomes visible and what becomes invisible, hidden before the viewer's eyes and his mind, of course. As we all already know, AI systems basically learn from data, a big amount of data. This sounds obvious, but ethically it is very important. As you already know, data are not a perfect representation of reality. They may be incomplete. Some groups may be underrepresented. Historical data may contain historical inequalities. Some languages may have much more content, digital content, than others. So when AI learns from these data, it can reproduce these inequality patterns. Sometimes it can even amplify them. This is why I want to distinguish two problems. An inaccurate system makes mistakes. A system which is unfair makes mistakes systematically, more often for certain people, communities, or types of information. That is a deeper problem, and this is especially important in information institutions because access to information is never only a technical issue. It is also connected with participation, education, and opportunity. Now imagine that our AI library assistant gives a student seriously incorrect information. Who is responsible for that matter? The company that developed the AI system? The company that sold the system? The university? The library director who decided to purchase the system? The librarian who uses it? Or the student who trusted it and used it in their work? What we should stress at this moment is that modern information systems are so-called socio-technical systems. Many different actors participate in their design, implementation, and use. This means that responsibility can be distributed, but there is especially danger in this fact. When everybody is partly responsible, everybody can also say, I was not really the one who made the decision. And this leads to a principle that I think is very important in this domain. Distributed responsibility must not become dissolved responsibility. Technology does not remove responsibility from humans. In many cases, it actually makes responsibility more complicated and therefore more important to define clearly. Okay, so far I have been speaking quite generally. What do we know about students at Indonesia and their approaches and attitudes towards artificial intelligence? Recent studies of Indonesian university students show something interesting. Students generally recognize the benefits of generative AI and are often positive about using it in education. At the same time, they recognize risks that are connected with academic integrity, overdependence, reliability, and ethical use. In those specific surveys, students also expressed a need for clearer guidance and stronger AI competencies. I find this important because the debate is sometimes presented as a simple choice. Should universities allow AI? Yes or no? But students appear to be asking a more sophisticated question. How can we use AI in a responsible way? And that is much more useful question for education. Of course, Indonesia is a very large and diverse country. Results from one university or one group of students do not automatically tell us what students in Bengkulu think. And this is actually where you become part of today's presentation. At the beginning, we already created our own tiny Bengkulu dataset. Of course, it is definitely not scientific research, so please do not publish it tomorrow, right? Anyway, it gives us something valuable. It allows us to compare general research findings with your own experience. Do you recognize the same opportunities? Do you have the same concerns? Would privacy be important to you? Would reliability be important? Or is the main issue simply getting access to useful AI tools? Of course, different environments may produce different answers, and responsible technology should always pay attention to context. Now we will start with the last part of my today's talk. At this point, you might ask, why should librarians be particularly interested in these questions? Well, my answer is because none of these questions is completely new to librarianship. Librarians already work with information. I suppose you can agree with this statement, all of you in the room and in the virtual room. We evaluate information sources. We think about authority in evaluating information sources. We provide access to information. We protect privacy of our users. We should. We organize knowledge through classification, and we teach information literacy. Artificial intelligence basically changes the tools and increases the complexity, but many of the fundamental professional values of librarianship remain the same. So I do not think that AI makes librarians less relevant. Potentially the opposite is true. As information becomes easier to generate, the ability to evaluate, contextualize, and question information becomes more important. AI changes the tools. It does not remove the need for information professionals. So, what might the role of a future librarian look like? I would suggest 5 principal roles that you can see on your slide now as well. First, the librarian is an AI user. You need practical experience. You cannot help people with technologies you do not understand and you do not know how to work with. Second, the librarian is an evaluator. You need to recognize weaknesses, unreliable outputs, and inappropriate uses of information. Third, the librarian is an educator, helping users develop AI literacy may become part of information literacy education. Fourth, the librarian is a protector of privacy, intellectual freedom, equitable access, and other professional values. And fifth, the librarian is a decision maker. This last role, according to my opinion, is very important. Responsible AI is not only about asking which AI system should we use. Sometimes the first question should be, should we use AI for this task at all? Should we use it? Because basically technology is a choice, not an obligation in our work. I would like to finish with one more question for you. This one is not that easy, actually. I would say it would require a lot of intellectual work and input from your side. So please think about it. Complete the sentence. A librarian should never let AI decide what, according to your opinion. There is no correct answer. I repeat, no correct answer. Think about what you consider an important human or professional responsibility and write it down into our poll. Please, please, please. It's your last chance to get in touch with me interactively today. So please scan the QR code and try to think about the answer to this question. A librarian should never let AI decide. I repeat again, which important human or professional responsibility should not be delegated to artificial intelligence.
Silakan Bapak Ibu jawab. Pertanyaannya adalah kenapa
I will give you some seconds and then I will again stop presenting this presentation and we'll go to Microsoft Forms to show you the results. And I just hope that there are still enough of you willing to take part in this task.
Okay, please slow, Prof, because some students just write in their form.
Okay, I will slow down. I will wait.
Bapak Ibu silakan dijawab. Pertanyaannya adalah kenapa librarian tidak boleh membiarkan AI mengambil keputusan sesuatu begitu. Kita tidak boleh membiarkan mereka, kenapa? Silakan dijawab in English, just use that you can aja.
Okay, I think that all of those of you who were willing to scan the QR code already did it. So I will, if you allow me, stop sharing the presentation and we'll share the screen with the results to this poll, the third question. Okay, and share this one. Wonderful. We already have like 41, 42 answers. Wonderful. Some of them are funny. Some of them are good. Of course, I'm not judging. I'm not judging the correctness. Which books to remove? Because many librarians, privacy policies, great. There is something in Indonesian which unfortunately I do not understand. If Milan was here, he would be very, very good at that. Validity of sources, information classification, curation, and access policies. Important matters independently. Okay, everything that matters to human activities and privacy. There must be human resources to manage it. Absolutely. A librarian should never let AI decide what information users can access. Great. Okay. We have 60 answers, 61. Yeah, actually, there is one answer which is very specific. Rephrase the information. Rephrase the information. If I may ask about what the others think about this activity, is AI good for that or not? This is maybe one example of activities that you wrote in the list that I would say, why not? If you check it before you use it, then I would say that AI in general is quite clever in rephrasing the information. Okay, I will stop sharing the screen at this moment and go back to our presentation. Okay, basically, when I pose these questions, this type of question to my audiences, I like the answers very much because it turns the usual AI discussion around. Normally, we ask, what can AI do? This is a technical question, but professional responsibility requires another question. Even if AI can do something, should we allow it to do it? The difference between can and should is where the ethics begins. So, to wrap up my today's talk, let me finish with 3 ideas. First, AI literacy is becoming part of information literacy. We cannot understand the contemporary information environment without understanding how AI produces, selects, and transforms information. Second, responsible AI use requires more than technical skills. Knowing how to use a technical tool is not enough. We also need to evaluate it, understand its limitations, and consider its consequences. And finally, future librarians can play an important role in helping society use AI critically, ethically, and confidently. You do not need to become AI engineers, but you may become people who help others understand when AI is useful, when it should be questioned, and when perhaps it should not be used at all. So perhaps the most important question to take away today should be this. Do not only ask what AI can do. Ask what it should do and what should remain human. Thank you very much for your attention. I understand it was a long presentation, and I just hope that you are still alive and breathing and intellectually with me. Thank you very much.
Okay, Bapak Ibu, give applause for Prof. Jaro. Okay, can I, the speakers, please? Yeah, okay. Thank you so very much for Prof. Jaro for the presenting a lot to us. We can learn a lot from you, Prof. And now we can continue. One of thing that I like is about the Prof. Jaro present is about depending on AI user and AI critical user. Jadi Bapak Ibu, kita adalah AI user or AI critical user. If you an AI user, you just use AI for speed and getting answer, just it. But if you as a AI critical user, jadi nanti kita akan use AI but verify. Kita akan menggunakan AI dan memverifikasinya begitu benar atau tidak. Yang kedua, kita akan cek the resources. Ketika kita menggunakan tugas, menulis tugas kuliah dan segala macamnya, are we check the resources or not? Oke. Dan yang ketiga adalah understand the limit and bias of AI. Kita semua paham kalau AI itu jawabannya jawab aja ya. Kita suruh ganti jawaban pun dia ganti aja jawabannya. So because of that, we need to understand the limits and bias of AI. And the last, as a AI critical user, we need to understand about the privacy of our data. Okay, Bapak Ibu yang ada di room dan juga yang ada di Zoom, if you have a question for Prof. Jaro, okay, please raise your hand. Yang ada di ruangan ada pertanyaan, please raise your hand or submit on the chat room. Oke, saya yang ke ruangan dulu yang ada di sini. Silakan yang ingin bertanya, silakan angkat tangannya. Ya, boleh bertanya, Bapak Ibu boleh bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia. I will help you to translate for the Prof. Jaro. Oke. Okay, please check on the Zoom chat. Okay, Prof, here one of our lecturer will be asked about AI implementations, AI in the librarians. Okay, the name is Ibu Niki. Ibu Niki, yeah. We can call Ibu Niki. Okay, Ibu Niki, time's yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Bapak Arab. And Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Professor Jaroslav. Let me introduce myself. My name is Niki Asmidar Salim Sinaga. I am a lecturer in Library and Information Science, Faculty Social and Political, University of Bengkulu. I will describe my question. So, I am a lecturer in Library and Information Science. I teach a reference service course and I have a responsibility to prepare students become a professional librarian, particular in field of reference service. And as a lecturer, I expect my student to be able to make a proof to inform decision when using AI. In your presentation, you can explain that AI user need to provide information about their needs and that the more relevant information we provide, the better AI can understand the context and generate useful result. And you explain us the future librarian have a 5 role. One as a user, second as an evaluator, decision maker, protector, and educator. So my question is, what the important information that we should provide to AI to make the search result more specific, accurate, and relevant to the user needs? And how we can provide the right information to AI so that it can support librarians and delivering comprehensive, effective, and responsible reference service to the library user. Thank you, Professor. I will give to Bapak Arab.
Thank you so much. Please, Prof, how to provide the AI user, how to make it the best result for the AI. Based on your perspective, okay, thank you, Prof. Time's yours.
Okay, thank you for the question. Basically, what I was trying to explain in my presentation was that this is the most difficult question, probably, to decide which information you can give to the system and which information you shouldn't. Basically, I would say the decision must be made on 2 levels. One level is that those people, those organizations who implement the system into their organization should somehow decide what is the standard level of information that should be taken into the system from all the people that use the system. And then, of course, it is a kind of setup on the level of organization. Then each individual user should decide on their own if they are willing to do it or not. Because in the end of the day, it is their data, their information, not the information of the organization or the system. So I cannot probably tell you what type of personal data should and should not be put into the system. I just can say this very general kind of division of powers. Organization should decide what is the standard level of data that should be put into the system. And then each individual has to decide if they are willing to input that data of their own into the system or not. So anyway, in any case, they have to agree to a specific use of data for a specific usage and processing in the system. I would put it that way, probably. I'm not sure if I answered your question. I tried.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Ibu Niki. Prof Yaro just explained to us about one of the level need to make sure is what is the level of standard data will lead to input to the AI and the output of AI. So we can use AI a very, very good standard. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Yaro, for your explanations. And we have a student from the Zoom. I see Salaisa. Okay, please spotlight the Salaisa before. Yeah, okay. Salaisa, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay.
Ya, Pak.
Okay, silakan Salaisa, ask your question to the Prof. Yaro. Okay, time's yours, Salaisa.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Professor Susol. My name is Salaisha Amalia Yusuf. Before that, thank you very much for your insightful presentation. It has broadened our understanding of the opportunities and challenges of applying AI for librarian in libraries. So I like to ask a questions. Previously, I conducted research on managing ancient manuscripts at the National Library of Indonesia, where artificial intelligence and optical character recognition can help librarians and philologists with metadata, digital preservation, automatic transcription, and translation. However, in line with the ethical role of future librarians, what ethical aspects need to be considered when AI is involved in managing sensitive cultural collection, such as manuscript, and how can librarians ensure they remain ethical guardians in this process rather than mere technology operators? Maybe that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Salesa, for the questions. Prof, I would like to inform you that Salesa just finished her research in National Library in Jakarta. Is topic about manuscript, philology, and she very excited about question about AI and philology. Okay, Prof. Susol, time's yours.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say that when I was in Indonesia 2 years ago, I went to the National Library in Jakarta, and it was a wonderful experience. Anyway, going to your question, if I understand it correctly, we are talking about digitizing old manuscripts, old prints, and what problems could be connected with applying AI in the process, right? Basically, what I was talking about today were the data which was mostly connected with people. Sensible data connected with people that system uses to somehow empower and enrich their knowledge about the users and provide them with more specific system output, information output. Honestly, when I look at this topic very superficially on the surface, basically, I wouldn't say there could be a lot of problems connected with conserving or securing the data that is produced in the processes of optical recognition and digitization. Maybe if you could be more specific, do you have any specific type of data in mind that you produce? Okay. Because, okay, let me finish it. If I just take a output product from the system, the procedure of digitizing old manuscripts, basically what is digitized, let's say old books or manuscripts. They are so old, I suppose, that people who are described in them or people who produce them do not live any longer. So I would say that no type of copyright protection or no type of personal data protection connected with these old people should be in line in this context. This is what I understand by digitizing old manuscripts. So what specific type do you have in mind? If you may be more specific.
Okay,
or was that answer enough for you?
okay, Salesa, please come on.
Well, if I may, I would just probably say that, again, from my point of view, from what you described as your source of concern, I would say that this is the activity where not much of personal data comes into the process. So basically, there wouldn't be a lot of AI concern in this matter.
Oke, saya Prof. Yaronyi tuh tanya karena kamu yang tahu penelitian kamu jenis manuskrip apa yang yang kamu riset sehingga Prof. Yaro bisa kasih pandangan karena kan tadi pertanyaannya masih secara umum jadi Prof. Yaro bisa kasih pandangan what your type of your manuscript.
Izin saya dalam bahasa nggak apa ya, Bu? Jadi di kemarin sempat di Perpustakaan Nasional itu bahwa penggunaan AI itu udah ada untuk naskah, cuma beberapa pustakawan itu terkadang masih mempertimbangkan penggunaan AI terkait dengan otentitas atau keaslian dari naskah itu ketika penggunaan AI. Jadi terus juga ketika misalnya di luar negeri seperti di British Library itu mereka sudah menggunakan AI and OCR di naskah mereka yang mereka digitalisasi. Tapi apakah penggunaan ini perlu diperhatikan kembali oleh pustakawan ketika ingin mengupload atau mempublikasi naskah kuno yang telah terdetek oleh AI sama OCR? Begitu, Bu.
Okay, the question is, Salsaisa have research about the paper manuscript in National Library. So the National Library have used OCR. That's right, Salsaisa. OCR. So they make different from another country. Another country use OCR. To develop the manuscript that people can read it to many people. So what your insight about it? It is right or no for make OCR to manuscript or is the privacy is good or not? Because we know manuscript is ancient manuscript, so it is true or not if we use AI, especially OCR, to make the manuscript can access many people, because sometimes in Indonesia most of the manuscript not use OCR, but a part of them. That's right, Salsaisa. Sebagian ya Salsaisa, not all manuscript.
Masih tahap adaptasi melihat dari luar negeri, Bu.
Okay, Indonesia adapted the OCR but not used for almost manuscript. So they want to ask how about your insight about use the OCR to use the to OCR to the manuscript like that. You want to explain about the insight about it, because in another country use OCR to develop a manuscript to use so can use the many people.
Okay, Prof.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I don't see at this point any ethical problem in using any type of system, even AI connected with OCR processing of manuscripts. Once the system works the way that it helps the OCR process to recognize the handwritten texts, and it is stored in the local system, basically, I wouldn't say that there are any ethical problems connected with using it for these purposes. So that would be my answer.
Okay, thank you, Prof. I think that's enough because when Salasa explained about the research, we not find the ethicals problem on the AI use to the manuscript, ancient manuscript. I think Salasa, for the next future research, we can collect more data from this research because I think this is the one of interesting research for the future because the previous research is only talk about not all AI we explain in our research. So Salesa, this is the good explanation from Prof. Susol, and thank you Salesa. We need to move for the next participant. Okay, Prof. Susol, in the Zoom, please spotlight Ibu Marleni dari IAIN Curug. Prof, this is one of okay, Head of Department, Ibu Marleni, Head of Department, Library and Information Science, IAIN Curug. Ibu Marleni, apa dengar
Yes,
saya?
Bapak.
Ya, silakan Ibu Marleni, time yours, Ibu.
Well, yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's a great honor for us to collaborate in webinar, international webinar, especially for Bengkulu University. And thank you very much for Ibu Siska. Well, Prof. Yaros, I would like to ask you about one of your slides because in your slide there are 5 roles, yeah, 5 roles for the future librarians. One of them is educators, teach AI literacy and help users develop critical skills. Well, my question is, in practice, how can librarian develop the critical skills, especially for the user of the library, and what kind of critical skills that do we need, yeah, in librarianship? So that's all my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, silakan Prof.
Okay, when I talk about critical skills in AI literacy, it's basically the thing that was mentioned several times today, and I hope each of you, each of the students, applies in working with any system of artificial intelligence, and it's the thing that you do not believe what you see.
Yeah.
When you get the answer from the AI system, you just have to check the sources, find if the information that you get is reliable and is correct. That's it. And what is part of educators' role in this domain is basically that the librarian should be the one who should be teaching this very important attitude, approach to using outputs of AI systems to each of their users in a library.
Well,
That's basically the content of educators' role in the AI literacy domain.
Yeah, but the practice is, I think, more and more, yeah, Prof.
Yeah.
Not only one. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much Ibu Marleni from IAIN Curug. Thank you very much juga untuk Prof. Susol explain about the AI criticals for the librarians. Okay, Prof. Susol, now in Bengkulu, we just 3:35, and I think our seminar will be the end. And before we close our seminar, Ibu Siska have one of the statements, and I will give the speakers for. Okay, Sudah. Oke, untuk Ibu Siska, the statements, time is yours.
Okay, Prof. Jaro and all participants, thank you for today. We get a many knowledge and insight from you about AI. So we don't scary about how AI to our profession, because many students ask for me if AI come to our program study. So what we do in the next time? Some student ask for me because maybe we can do classification, catalogization, searching information, and what. So today we make us proud of the material today that give us some information about how AI for librarian, and we make me proud to be a librarian. Yes. Okay. We proud as a librarian in the next future. Yes. So AI can support us to be a good librarian in the future. So thank you, Prof. Jaro. I hope so. We can learn many things in the future in any time. Maybe we can ask anything after this session, maybe with email or some. Yeah.
Sure.
Sir, okay. Prof. Jaro receive, we can ask anything to Prof. Jaro. And maybe we can say thank you to Prof. Jaro, all of you.
Thank you, Prof. Yaro.
Thank you very much, Prof. Yaro.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Jaro. Keep healthy and see you in the next time.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Siska, and the next,
Salang.
thank you, and the next, the closing statement from Prof. Yaro. The closing statement, Prof. Yaro, time's yours.
Well, thank you very much to all of you for your attention. I understand that probably the presentation was too long and tiring, but I just thought that this is the topic that could be a kind of thing that would not be very much demanding and understandable to the students of librarianship on all the levels and in all the grades that you have. Thank you very much once again. I just hope that we will continue the collaboration in the future, and we'll have another chance to see each other via online or some other way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Susol, and give applause from Prof. Susol to Prof. Susol. Oke, Bapak Ibu yang ada di dalam Zoom dan juga yang ada dalam ruangan, terima kasih atas kesempatannya. Before we close, let me brief the summarize what we learned today. Okay, the one thing that I like in this seminar is talk about AI for the librarian. We need to ask for things. The first is, can we trust AI? Yes, this is the first question we need to input to our mind. And the second, apakah AI tahu banyak tentang kita? Apakah dia tahu banyak apa yang kita butuhkan? Apakah yang kita butuhkan sesuai dengan apa yang ia akan berikan? This is the second we need to understand. And the third is, apakah AI fair dalam merespon? Artinya kalau kita bayar lebih banyak, apakah jawabannya lebih bagus? Yeah, this is the question you need to understand. And the last question is, who the responsible if the AI make a problem, make a wrong statement, begitu ya. And for the last, I would like to say thank you, and the last summarize is, kita ke depan akan menjadi future librarian with AI dengan 5 ketentuan. Yang pertama, kita akan menjadi AI user. Apapun yang terjadi, kita adalah seorang AI user. Yang kedua, kita tidak hanya menjadi AI user, kita juga akan menjadi AI evaluate, gitu ya. Kita akan menjadi AI evaluate. Jadi pustakawan ke depan itu tidak hanya pakai, tapi juga mengevaluasi. Dan berikutnya adalah kita akan menjadi AI educator. Kita akan mengajarkan AI untuk orang lain, untuk pengguna-pengguna kita. Dan juga kita akan menjadi AI protector. Kita akan mengatakan ini benar, ini kurang tepat, ini salah, ini bias, ini salah, begitu ya. Terus yang berikutnya adalah kita lah decision making in AI use. Baik, thank you so much Bapak Ibu semuanya. Thank you so much Prof. Yaro. I hope today webinar give us new knowledge and inspirations. Prof. Yaro, on behalf of the committee, I would like to say big thank you to Prof. Jaroslav Susol, Ph.D. for sharing his knowledge with us. Thank you also to all participants here joining and staying until the end of the seminar. And I'm sorry for any mistake during the event. Thank you for your attention everyone. See you the next event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Susol.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Where are you? You're in a car.
Yeah, I'm picking my daughter. Pick up my daughter
Okay,
from
I
school.
just want to congratulate you to the big success that we talked about in our WhatsApp room. So wonderful, wonderful. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. It's because of you too.
Ah, come on. It's just your hard work and everything that you did so far. So good luck. Good luck,
Again,
Andina.
thank you.
Okay,
We miss
goodbye.
you so much.
Well, hopefully we'll see each other in the future personally. So yeah. Have a nice
Stay
day. Have a
healthy.
nice day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you very much to our moderator and speaker for the wonderful and insightful discussion we have just had. To close our series of events, let us take a moment to offer our gratitude to our prayer. We would like to invite Alfat to lead us in prayer. Alfat, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Ya Allah, kami bersyukur atas kelancaran webinar ini. Berikanlah kami ilmu yang bermanfaat dan kebijaksanaan dalam memanfaatkan teknologi, khususnya kecerdasan buatan. Bimbinglah kami agar dapat menggunakan AI secara bijak, bertanggung jawab, dan tetap menjunjung tinggi nilai-nilai kemanusiaan. Berikanlah keberkahan kepada seluruh narasumber, panitia, dan peserta yang telah mengikuti kegiatan ini. Semoga ilmu yang kami peroleh dapat memberikan manfaat bagi diri kami dan orang lain. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our international webinar AI for Librarian. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our head of laboratory, Mrs. Laila Tusadia, head of study program, Mrs. Francisca Timoria Samosir, Dean of FISIP, Vice Dean of FISIP, moderator, speaker, and of course, all of you who have joined us today. We hope the insights shared today will be valuable and beneficial for all of us, especially in embracing AI within the library and information science field. Akhir kata, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu atas partisipasinya hari ini. Bapak Ibu boleh leave dari Zoom karena acara kita sudah selesai.
Baik, terima kasih Ibu Siska.